Hey everybody, I just want to do a quick garden tour, end of June garden tour, starting with my front flower bed. Everything has pretty much been trimmed back. First flush of growth and flowering has already gone, so everything's been pruned back so I can get another flush coming in. I'm just going to do a really brief tour, and then once they start blooming again, I'll do a full tour with the names of everything if I can remember it. But as you can see, I trimmed all the lavender back, and then I trimmed back my roses. Standard rose up there. I have limelight hydrangea there. As you can see, the limelight, or actually all the panicle hydrangeas, is starting to go into their first bloom. So they are late bloomers, as you can see. Sedums are coming into its full bloom as well. This one, not so much, but the other ones over here are coneflower is beautiful as always. I like to propagate more of this color and put it in the front to create more color, because right now it doesn't have a lot of color. But the roses do provide good flower, and the lavender when they are in bloom. But I think I want the contrast between the red and the purple. And then this is the front entrance to my house. Here I have a couple pots that I've planted. Verbena, different color, geranium, some more roses that I pruned back, sedum to help with the drainage. There is a gutter spout right there, so I planted some sedum just as a ground cover to help with the erosion. My lavender hedge over here I trimmed back, as you can see, and then sedum. Hydrangeas are all the way in the back. As you can see, they're coming with all of their flowers starting to bud out. It's going to be beautiful once it comes out. Got a couple roses trying to come in, but I did a hard pruning back, as you can see, and then I have new growth coming in with lots of new buds. But look at the sedum. They're just starting to take off. See? This one, for some reason, flower way sooner than all the other ones. But this is what it looks like. This is the walkway to the front door, as you can see. I'm going to take you over here to my front area where the mailbox is. Just cut the grass. It was a little bit wet, so now I've got grass stains and grass sticking to everything. Oh look, and there's a grass clump right there. Here's the front of my mailbox area. Also, another thing that's coming into bloom, of course, is the hardy hydrangea. Can't remember what this one is, but look at all the buds. Just can't wait to see them bloom. The bee balm is, of course, reaching its end. As you can see, they were beautiful, but now they're just these little puff balls, which they do provide great interest, but I think I'm going to cut it back so I can get a second flush down there of flower. Salvia, still pretty, but it is almost done. The calyx on it is still beautiful though, but it's looking a little sad, so I might trim it back. Same over here, just roses. Let me see. Pinky Winky hydrangea, I believe. Another hydrangea back there that's younger, propagated. I did a propagation on that one. This one I trained into a standard. And then over here to the right hand side are all my hydrangeas. Most of them have been blooming its head off, as you can see. And now it is kind of slowly lowing and changing its color. It's not as pretty as it once was, but it's still pretty, so I'm going to keep the heads on them. This one is beautiful. Look at that. Look at the color. It's hard to even describe it. Aren't they beautiful though? I mean, look at this. The color's been spent. It used to be this blue like that over there, but now it's changing its color. Look at all that variation in the color. I just have a smorgasbord over here because this is just basically my wild flower bed that I'm just growing. So all different kinds of flower. There's daisies, hydrangeas, butterfly bush. I even have a lily that is like super tall. They're like tree lilies. Gladiolas spent already. We had a couple of heavy rain and it snapped the head. Japanese maple, and then keep going down. I'm just planting random things over here. As you can see, this used to be completely covered with weed, and then we rented a bobcat and I had my husband till the ground a little bit, then we covered it with mulch, and now I'm just starting to plant things and I don't have enough plants, so I'm just slowly growing them, propagating them, and then plopping them into the ground. As you can see, they're still baby, still growing, still doing its thing. Planted some more hardy hibiscus. That one's an oak leaf hydrangea. It's suffering. I don't know why. It's in the shade for a better part of the day. It looks like it doesn't have enough water, but I checked and it has enough water. Yarrow. I can't wait for all these yarrow to come into play. I did a hard pruning on them. Let's see, more butterfly bush. I'm sorry, this is the grass that my husband cut and it was wet, so I blew it on over here so it doesn't kill the grass. I guess it doesn't kill the mulch, but anyways, more. Let me show you the calla lilies. Aren't they beautiful? They had a hard time with the Japanese beetle, but it looks like the Japanese beetle has subsided. But aren't they beautiful? Look, this is the bad things they do to your flower. Look at this beautiful color. And then this, you guys, is my stargazer lily. Aren't they magnificent? They're so beautiful. So I just got a package of it at Costco, and then I planted intermittently. But I think what I should have done is just plant them all in one spot and then see the glorious show that they produce. Because right now they're kind of spread apart in my garden and they're beautiful, but I think they would be way showy if I just plant them all in one spot. Some roses. These are more like the small one, not the hybrid tea like I usually like. More hardy hibiscus, coneflower daisies, salvias, veronicas. All of these are along here. I planted. Look at this. The space is so empty. If you don't fill it up with something, weeds and grass will overtake. So as I propagate more, I'm just putting them on here, and then eventually I'm gonna plant so many flowers over here that it will overtake this area, and then it'll get rid of and suppress all the weeds. Bee balm. This is beautiful, but it flops. It's like 5 feet tall compared to the other bee balms over here. This one is more of a manageable size, but those ones are ginormous. Look at that. Isn't that the coneflower so pretty? And of course, more stargazer lily. Look at that. Aren't they beautiful? Of course, some of them are spent already, but I still have more. Let me see what else is over here. Just giving you guys a brief tour. My blueberries, raspberry, and then look, I have this whole area that I can still plant. The only bad thing I did was I was so aggressive trying to get rid of the weed that I put down the fabric, the weed fabric, and then I put the mulch over it. Don't ever do that. I regret that decision. Now I got to go back and try to tear it out while trying not to uncover the mulch. It's kind of a pain, but you can see over here I tore it out a little bit, plant some stuff over here, and it robs the soil of the nutrients when you're trying to work it into it. If you put the mulch down, it doesn't get into the soil as well when you have the fabric liner. Pinky Winky hydrangea, you guys, those ones are up there. They're starting to come into bloom as well, but they're so pretty. Look at this. They look like this now, but they get to be so showy. Like, I can't wait until they're like this. Let me see. You see this picture right there? I can't wait till they look like that. So that's supposedly what they're supposed to look like. Right now it's still in its baby stages of flowering, but they bloom a lot later, so that's their first set of bloom. Daisies over here, they're about 4 feet now. I'm about 5 feet and they reach my chin. Of course, in the south, crepe myrtles, can't live without them. I have this huge, big, massive butterfly bush right there that eventually I would like to take down because it's just too tall. It's like 10 feet tall. Some more flower over here. Limelight hydrangea, limelight hydrangea. This one flopped over here because of the rain and how heavy it is, but it's spent, as you can see. And then over here is the second part of my flower bed. I've just basically put some elephant ear over here and a couple other things to grow by the shed that eventually we will take down. But over here has the elephant ear. They're ginormous, you guys. I mean, probably 20 of this camera can fit onto one leaf. Hydrangea, salvia. I planted some tubers of dahlia back here. Didn't think that they would actually survive, and lo and behold, look at it. Isn't it beautiful how things grow when you least expect it? Look at that. Isn't that pretty? It's got like this white stuff on it from a bug, but I didn't really treat it, so I need to take better care of it. But that one I just kind of threw back there and it grew. This is my burning pile. Look at this. You guys, look at this Georgia weed. I gotta come back here. We weeded, we mulched, everything was nice and clean, and like within a year, look at it. This is my secondary garden bed that I want to build up, but I also gotta work with all the weeds. I have an apple tree back here. Can you see the apples? Oh, the apple. Oh, look. The dragonfly decided to come and visit. Can you see him? That's my apple tree. More bee balm. This is that red bee balm that was flopping in the front area. More lilies. These are day lily. They only bloom once. The stargazer lily. They bloom. Their blooms last longer. Aren't they beautiful? Just look at them. I mean, they are so showy, you guys. Definitely worth the investment in the buy. A couple other things in here. Coneflower. I would like to keep planting things over here, but look at all that weed I've got to get under control. Which there is no such thing as under control when you garden in Georgia Zone 8A. This is my midnight marvel, you guys. I cannot wait to show you. This is the picture of my profile when it is in full bloom. It is glorious. It is so beautiful. Look at the leaf, the structure, the interest you get in the leaf color. And then look at all these blooms that's gonna come. So normally I would have really hard time with these like little worms, caterpillar bugs that eats the leaf. But this year it looks like I'm kind of getting it under control because the leaf is not decimated like they usually are. Like usually the whole plant would look like this. But I think I've been treating it and it seems to be doing well. And then this is the border between my neighbor and I's place. But I plant over here. They allow me to plant in the vegetable garden area. More limelight. I'm sorry, that's a pinky winky hydrangea. More hydrangea. Look at this. Isn't this beautiful? They're so white and fluffy, you guys. Definitely worth having some of this in your garden. Aren't they beautiful? Just the interest they give you. And they start out like this, and then as they get bigger, the color changes and the flower is more prominent. They come out. Here's another one right here, and here's another one. I do apologize, I don't know all of the variety. I just know that they're panicle hydrangeas, because a lot of them I've got is from cuttings from friends and neighbors. I ask for cutting everywhere I see them, and they give them to me, and I root them and then plant them into the ground. So I like to have a whole hedge right along here as well. My Mayor's lemon, this is my vegetable garden. It's pretty small, but it does what I need it to do. I've got some zucchinis in here. I just gave one to the neighbor. It was so big, and there's another one coming in. I actually harvested 4 of them already. Tomatoes, jalapenos, look at them, they're coming in. Jalapeno poppers, you guys, are definitely in the works. This area is this area is the neighbors, but they let me plant along here because basically I line in where that dog cage is for Xena. And we try to maintain it, but it's just there. And I think we're concerned that if we remove everything, erosion will happen because the way it rains in Georgia, it floods. But not enough to, kill all of us. My pomegranate, grapefruit. The grapefruit is doing really good, you guys. Look, it finally pushes out new growth at the tip of it. Can you see it? So I'm super excited about this. Of course, pomegranate, who wouldn't be excited? And then this area over here is my raised bed that my husband made for me. This is an orange tree, mango. Unsure about this. I see that it's trying to push new growth right along here, the nodes, but the dieback right here is what concerns me. But it looks like the graft union part is doing okay, so I'm not too concerned. I did have one that died, so I'm super sad about that, but the company's gonna replace it, and then I'm gonna actually get a guava tree instead. The Rio Samba, you can see all the new growth, which is the different color. That's showing the new growth. So you get 2 different kind of interest from the leaf growth. This, of course, is a sweet potato vine. Actually, it's actual sweet potato, even though it's a vine and it grows like this for interest. But I literally just stuck 2 old sweet potato down there, and look, it produced vines. And I'm pretty sure it's doing its thing in the bottom, so when it's ready, I might harvest it and see what it tastes like. Salvia, rose, elephant ear. This just is a different one. This one I really like way more than the other elephant ear that I showed earlier. This one's structure is just more upright. And look, I never noticed this, but they actually flower, you guys. Look at those little flower stems that they stick out. Let me try to go the other way and see if I can show you guys a better picture. So if you look over here, look, it actually has a little flower. Isn't that crazy? I never knew elephant ear flower. I don't know why, but I never knew that. Here's its little baby in the shell. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And this here is my angel trumpet. Look at all those flower, I guess flower pods. These are all flower pods. I cannot wait to show you guys when it starts to pop open, but it's gonna be really pretty. Let's see, another area. This is my back deck area. Sorry, gardening is a work in progress. Some herbs. This is the Thai basil. Super good to go on your pho soup. My other Mayor's lemon that I got because I thought the one I planted in the ground over there had died off. Now I have 2, which I'm excited about that. Kufia Vermillionaire, you guys, the best flower for hummingbirds. They love it. Oh, let me show you. You guys, look at this avocado tree. I also bought this one too, and it looks sad. You can watch my review of unboxing it and everything, and they look like they were gonna die. But look, lo and behold, isn't that amazing how much stress they can go through, and yet they can still keep on coming back? Not everything comes back, because look at this stick. There's a little bit of green left, but this is the other mango tree that I got that died. Basically, the graft union died, so then it had dieback going up, and then of course the tip of it died, so then the dieback started down, so the two ends will eventually meet and everything will go brown. Let me see. Another avocado tree over here. Green onion, you guys. Easiest thing to grow ever. You buy a stalk at the store, you just cut the bottom off, plant it in soil, and then anytime you need it, you just come out and you just cut. Basically, you can see here where I cut. You just cut here, and then new shoots come out, and you keep on harvesting it. Literally, I haven't had to buy any more green onions since I got 2 batches of it, and then I planted them. Same thing, well, over here I have basil. This one looks like it's stressed, like it can't handle the heat for some reason. I don't know why, or the sun. This basil, of course, is doing amazing. I got some seeds. I think this is a regular maple. I don't know. I just got some seeds, so I put it in there to see if I can germinate, and of course it germinated. Another sweet potato vine. My limelight hydrangea over here, the standard that we planted because the base of it was crooked in one spot. So I planted in here and try to correct it. It looks like it's doing great, so I can't wait until it blooms. Look at all the blooms I will get from it, you guys. Isn't that awesome? I can't wait. It's like its own little bouquet just sitting out here waiting to bloom. And then this is oleander. This one's pretty too. I got this from a friend because she has kids and they are poisonous. But a lot of plants actually are poisonous if you ingest so much of it, I guess. Over here is my last gardening bed. This is more of like my nursery bed where I root everything and then I transplant it in here because this has good soil, and then, you know, you hope that it'll continue to take. And then once they get big enough, I transplant it out in the big main flower bed over here. So over here I have a lot of Japanese maple in the ground. They took to seed. They're growing. I'm just waiting for it to get bigger and then I can transplant it. But some roses from cutting that I'm training into a standard. Some more panicle hydrangeas. Look at this, you guys. Sorry, it's a mess over here. Haven't had a really good chance to clean, working all day and then trying to garden. But this is another panicle hydrangea. Look at it. Isn't it beautiful? So this one, I believe, is I think it's either a vanilla strawberry or strawberry sundae. I'm sorry, I can never keep it apart, but I'm trying to train it into a standard, as you can see, and eventually it'll be strong enough that it can stand on its own, and then it'll flower and produce these panicles. Look at them. Aren't they beautiful? And then they're gonna turn, not every one of them will turn a pink reddish color, but a lot of these panicles, once they are done this color, they will then start to change a shade of pink-ish. They'll be pretty amazing. I cannot wait to see, and I will show you how that will look. A butterfly bush, I'm training into a standard form, which is a tree form. It looks good so far. And then some more roses I'm trying to root to see if it'll take into the ground, and then train it into a standard. Let's see what else. Those are Confederate rose. I can't wait to show you what they look like. In between them, this one and that one is another, it's a Japanese magnolia. They are beautiful. I cannot wait. And then another lavender bush, coneflower, and a whole bunch of Japanese maple over here. And that, you guys, basically is a quick tour, about as quick as I can get it. I mean, it's still 30 minutes long, but hey, it's a lot quicker than an hour. I will probably do more in-depth once the flowers are in full bloom, and then that way it'll probably be more showy. So right now I'm just gonna probably go to the garden, deadhead everything that looks spent so that it'll give it time, a couple of weeks to flush out and regrow, and then I will do another garden tour. I hope you guys enjoy the video. I hope your garden is growing and producing and you are happy with it. Just remember, if you're not happy with something, it's your garden. Just change it. Just change it. And definitely, you know, make it your place that you enjoy. There are some plants that I don't enjoy, and I'll look at it, and if it doesn't perform, I usually do either remove it. I'll ask somebody if they want it, so then I can plant with something that I enjoy. Look at these coneflower. Aren't they beautiful? They're really showy. And they're super easy. Like once they are done blooming, this will turn brown, and all of those little tiny spots that you see, those are seeds. They produce seed, and then once it's dry, you just sprinkle in the ground and you get more. Isn't that amazing how it works? So that is it, you guys, for my garden show. I thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great night. It is very beautiful here right now, not so humid, so I'm taking full advantage of everything. Just gonna briefly show you the calla lilies again with my stargazer lily. And then we will end it here. Have a great night, everybody. I'll see you later. Bye.